when you got a guy from Arizona that decided to commit to this team for 12 years, from what's going on around the Canadian markets, I think it's pretty darn good if you're a Leaf fan.
O-Dog has spoken, and Leafs fans, you better smile, because he stay.
This is SportsCentre.
Hey, I'm Julia Tashiri, filling in for Marissa Roberto, and you know where we're starting, right with Auston Matthews. And we're going to talk about exactly what this deal means. We all know the news. The Leafs locked up Auston Matthews for an additional 4 years yesterday, as announced by, well, Auston Matthews himself. The 4-year deal has an AAV of $13.25 million and makes Poppy the highest paid player in the NHL, surpassing Nathan MacKinnon by a cool $650K. Of course, more money does not always equate to more success. And the most telling stat in regards to that, and one stat that I absolutely hate as a Leafs fan, no player with an AAV higher than $10 million has ever won the Stanley Cup. I hate this stat because it's true. I don't hate this stat for any other reason other than it is true. We got close with Carey Price, we got close with Matthew Tkachuk last year, but there is some weird curse in addition to all the Leafs curses that we don't need. The closest, Jack Eichel, which he set this past season, he was making exactly $10 million. And as you may expect from Leafs Nation, the deal was met with a hurricane of reaction. Is the contract too short? Is it too much money? Can Auston live up to the price? Leafs Nation, calm down. The man is the first Leaf that got 60 goals in a season. And yeah, he had a little bit of a down year last year. There were some injuries involved. It was a little weird coming off COVID, but I think Leafs fans should be nothing but excited about this. He could have fetched like $50 million on the open market. 4 years, you get until he's 31, you get his whole prime. So let's chill. Now that you've heard my thoughts, let's hear from our favorite Leafs hater. All right, Jesse, 3, 2, 1, blast off.
You know what? I completely agree with Julia. I think it's ridiculous that some Leafs fans are upset with this. You get one of the best players in the league, team controlled until his 12th season. Patrick Laine left the Jets after 4. Leafs fans, this is definitely a win for you.
Okay, I was not expecting me and Jesse to agree with one another, and I don't really know how to react out of this. Thank you, Jesse. Sorry about Patrick Laine. Love you, man. To the NFL now, and I'm just going to remind you that we are officially 2 weeks away from the start of the season. I kid you not, in just a fortnight, NFL football is back, baby. In the words of Bart Scott,
can't wait.
But before the season starts, we've got one big domino left to fall, and that's the potential trade of Jonathan Taylor. Here's what we know. 6 teams have reportedly made inquiries on Taylor, with 2 already reportedly making offers. Indy's given Taylor till Tuesday to seek a trade, but so far, it doesn't seem like anyone is willing to match Indy's price. And another factor here is whoever trades for Taylor will then need to work out a new contract for the disgruntled running back. So who's the team most likely to make a move for Taylor?
Miami has been linked to Jonathan Taylor, and they're willing to give up something, but is it enough to make the Colts move one of their cornerstone pieces that they're not willing to pay so far themselves? And so something has to give here, because if he doesn't get a trade and he doesn't get a new contract from Indy, then the two sides have a mess on their hands for this season. I don't think anybody wants that, and it doesn't serve anybody well.
All right, now on to the fun stuff. And Raiders quarterback Aidan O'Connell, who rocked this shirt, paying homage to one of the finest motion pictures in the history of cinema, Super Troopers. Oh my gosh, these are beautiful dusters. Okay, but who has a nicer duster, Auston Matthews or these guys? Also, he looks a little bit like the knockoff Justin Bieber that walks around downtown Toronto. Let that sit with you for a second. And just a reminder, with the season only 2 weeks away, you're gonna need to get TSN Plus, as it's the new home of NFL Red Zone. To subscribe, go to tsn.ca/TSN Plus, or just click the link below. Now, in honor of Red Zone on TSN Plus, we might as well put me in the quad box. And since we're gonna get really wild, how about Smocto Box? This is everyone's nightmare, I'm pretty sure. Particularly like my boyfriend and my sister. If they see this, they will not sleep for weeks. To the CFL, and we got a huge one tonight, as 2 of the best teams in the CFL go head-to-head when the Bombers host the Alouettes. Both of these teams come in riding 4-game win streaks, and a Montreal win would tie them on points with Toronto. However, after tonight, the Double Blue will have 2 games in hand on the Owls. But the big story is with the Bombers. As two-time reigning MLP, Zach Collaros returns under center for the first time in 2 weeks. Although, it's not like the Bombers were struggling with Drew Brown, as he threw for 471 yards and 4 tutties, with no picks while Collaros was out. On the outside of things, they're also getting their quarterback back, as Cody Fajardo returns after missing the last 2 weeks with an upper body injury. Now, despite the return of Fajardo, and the fact that the Owls are one of the hottest teams in the entire CFL, the Bombers are heavy favorites tonight, with the total set at 47.5. And you could watch tonight's game on TSN. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. But outside of the QBs, the biggest thing happening at this game is this sandwich.
The Blue Bombers have created this big Ukrainian burger for the game this Thursday, August 24th. Just look at it. It has a Winkler Meats garlic coil, 20 pierogies, caramelized onion, sauerkraut, and dilly sour cream. It's going to be $40 and only sold at the game this Thursday.
What? This is disgusting. And I don't consider myself a food shamer in any regard. You guys heard what I said about mayo the other day, but this is too far and it's disgusting. I love sausages. I love the whole dilly thing that they were talking about there. I love pierogies. These are some of my favorite things. I'm a pierogies for breakfast advocate. When you put all those things together on a sandwich, you're just being gluttonous. That's way too far. Jesse Pollock, the city of Winnipeg, and like Mark Scheifele should have to answer for this. I cannot believe they're selling this. Time now for my favorite segment and yours, Why We Love Sports Today.
Why we love sports today.
And we need to see this embarrassment one more time. He thought it was a trampoline. Well, what is it? Oh my God! His knees! Why did he think it was a trampoline? What led him to believe that? He must have been set up. Is this guy walking? Has anyone checked in on him? I hope he's well. I like his socks. This ultimately, I don't know if I'd get up after this. I'd just stay in that position. Okay, this next video is too funny, as British comedian Kyle Porter went viral with his slow-mo recreation of a soccer goal and subsequent celly. Sorry to Kyle Porter for calling it soccer. I guess that's probably offensive to you. Oh my gosh, he is the slow-mo. Oof. It's like I can hear the sound effects. Ah. His face. Look at him. Look at him go. Woo! What is he saying? He actually looks like he's in slow motion right now. Is the most impressive part of this whole thing to me. What was that? The whole hip thrust thing is a lot. Look at him looking off into the distance, so accomplished. Wow. A prayer to the footy gods. Always got to be something dramatic like that. That was a good reenaction. I'd like him to do a hockey celly next. I feel like that would be chaotic. That's all from me. Roberto will be off the go. She'll be back tomorrow at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Have a great Thursday.